ene yen kohwe eniama ba ku mienu bi ekoso National Cathedral na no monyanfo Samokujo tabla kwa kasembi na saasimo no monyanfo Samokujo tabla kwa kae no enkame aye se ye fa ne se Amanyosem akacho se Ghana ha ye wo enam se bi Amanyosem a ebinum hyeda ntia asienti no se NDC ni ka asem na enokrempa won si de siti no se MPP ni ka asem na se enokra so asem se de si eti no na so ebre ne ebre ne da na ebekire nokra ewo sa ensem no mu oka bibi fa National Cathedral ho eka se baby a yekobubu nkrofo dan a yedisi National Cathedral over 50 houses and access structures a ebugu yedisi National Cathedral no compensation kura wosi etua no enya de si yetua enam so omo ntone so omo de eba be kokot but ye wura fie ho kakra emese National Cathedral ho asem bae ne kama ya se sha asese yesi ehu se de Ghana fo sika ewuram no afi na Ghana fodo na adwen ekoso na yensa enko nyama hudo bebre so mame mon kompomon kontimfa nko akire kakra we 2018 GH1 TV station and TV3 these two TV stations omo file news reports ebra na demolition exercise ekoso ewo baby a yebesi National Cathedral no na yentie how a omo report ye 2018 how a Ghana for a react ye sabre no a abanisha sisi o breaki grounds otutu obubu nkrofo japade na edi besie no ensema Ghana for kan ne mfa metoto ene the same ensem wa Ghana for ekafa National Cathedral ne hese bibi atumi asesa na se bibi betumi asesa na yenhwe GH1 the dinkan TV3 from there we move on to the GH1 yenti o monsem omde tuja
6-story buildings sharing a wall with a passport office in the Ridge Enclave were demolished in Wednesday morning's exercise. The buildings were constructed in 2017 and allotted to some judges and magistrates. Some of the occupants relocated after prior notice, while others are yet to leave. More than 50 structures have been earmarked to be demolished in the prime area. Scrap dealers were salvaging iron rods from the debris at the time of our visit. The National Cathedral will have an auditorium capable of seating 5,000, as well as the requisite chapels and a baptistry. There will also be a music school, an arts gallery, and a museum at the site.
On March 6, 2017, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo announced government's plan to build 500,000-seater National Cathedral in the heart of Accra, stating that it will be built to the glory of God.
Through Christ who strengthens us, the National Cathedral will be built to the glory and honor of God.
This announcement was greeted with mixed reactions from a section of the public and civil society who believed that the construction of a national cathedral for the country was untimely. The new building is expected to stretch alongside the Osu Cemetery and take over land holding the Rich Runabout, the Scholarship Secretariat, the Judicial Training Institute, the Passport Office, and the residences of 9 judges. In this regard, Court of Appeal judges who occupied some of the residential facilities by the Judicial Service some years ago were evicted last year and given a temporary accommodation set to cost the state some $168,000 in 18 months. On Wednesday, August 7, 2019, bulldozers were moved to the site to pull down 6 of the buildings to make way for the construction of the controversial National Cathedral, and this is the second demolition exercise at the site. According to some field workers, the demolition is being done in phases, but it is unclear when the exercise would be completed for actual construction of the 5,000 capacity cathedral. It also remains unclear why the particular site has been earmarked for the construction of the National Cathedral. But speaking to a section of the public earlier Wednesday, some were of the view that it was pointless to demolish buildings just to reconstruct when bare site could be used.
If there's an ordinary space without demolition of any building, that would be okay. You understand? But whilst there are properties over there, then we are putting them down, then rebuild another one. To me, I think we should think about it.
They could have found a better place to do it rather than just coming and bringing down people's building. I learned passport officers part. We are supposed to move out from here to a different place, and it's something that I don't see the need for.
It is alleged that the National Cathedral will cost the state about $100 million, and this has infuriated some Ghanaians who have stated that this is a case of misplaced priorities.
I believe there's lots that can be done with the money that has been budgeted for it. $100 million it can do a lot, like our hospitals, schools and stuff. There's a lot that can be done with that money. It's really not necessary because I don't know what it's going to be used for.
The program they are putting in about $100 million. We have a cathedral already. Look at the hospitals. People are sitting down, they are putting them drips. Kwelebu, 37, Rich Hospital, and other places. Look, the whole of Accra, potholes all around. This money can be put into that project.
But the committee overseeing it say the money will not come from public coffers. Although demolition has taken place on site, citizens, however, are not in the known of when construction would begin. Per the architectural designs, the cathedral will boast of chapels and baptistry, have a music school, an art gallery, and a Bible museum.
So this is how Ghana media, GH1 TV3, or more reported here, the construction of the National Cathedral 2018. Bro, much as we breaking grounds now. Utie a report now, and yaba bakwa ne ubni se one. Abane kache say $100 million in the DBC National Cathedral. 2, ya kache say nye Ghana fusika in the DBC Cathedral. 3, ye bubu adano adankrabe se eduonum 50. Any bubu edigu passport office, Greater Accra Regional Minister, aswe any for other properties, ya dankra makumaku, fie makumaku 50. Any bu ni nyina egu including 9 judges, appeal court judges. Ni si omodane diamo brand new. Banda dane ne shase 2017 omusi dane ewie 9 appeal court judges dan yedwiri ni nyina edigu ni edwiri digu ye no ye ka chom say ye kope baabi amomatena ye ko rent baabi amomatena for 1.5 years and send a permanent place dia momo eno no cost Ghana over $168,000 ene de eno abia ho with Ghana for na complaining at the time when ye break ground in 2018 complaining say portals ahodo gu kwam we can do it. Ghana phobia say we call hospital cry there is no bed. We need hospital. You need hospital bed. They bit media sancro for yade. Na afi kura sa abani so see National Cathedral mpo no kwa kwesi ni baby a se bia asase pese da ho no mo ni problem na mom ye budan de aguo no yade ye wo hawo. These are the issues Ghana for a raise here. Na edan a ye dwira aguo no me no ka se ma remfi said aban de etete eba the National Cathedral ne sika no from 2018, I catch $100 million. No, they say raise ya baby do $400 million. You see, no baby, our foundation level. As we speak, about 200 million Ghana cedis. Ya they are share from her. You know, pempensua, you bet me do be a. But sasika yeka compensations a hodwa. Kofoja padi jirigu yeno. Nina enka. Ni ehwe asmo na bosa mokuyo tabra kwa. Eka ye June. Eno ka asase mbosumi etwemo. We say in our latest expose on the Kufuor's Cathedral scandal, we revealed that despite the colossal unconstitutional withdrawal from the consolidated fund in excess of 200 million Ghana cedis, and despite contractors abandoning site for lack of payment, government still owns some of the people whose properties were demolished. Otwaswa was the Waterstone Realty Limited had their high-rise commercial luxury apartment raised aground. Valuation indicate that they are entitled to some $6.5 million in compensation. At today's exchange rate, that is a staggering 51.6 million Ghana cedis. Just imagine what 51.6 million Ghana cedis plus all the other demolition compensation packages could do in this ailing economy. considering that the company has served government notice since the 4th of November 2021 that they will be proceeding to court. Having run out of patience, perhaps we should expect Ken Ofori-Atta to carry out another unconstitutional withdrawal from the consolidated fund in the next few days. It is worth noting that typical of this chaotic property grabbing government, a 12 August 2020 allocation of the approximately 1.6 acres of land situated at the Ridge residential area by the Lands Commission as a first stage compensation to Waterstone Limited has so far failed because powerful elements in the Akufo-Addo government are scrambling and scheming to buy the same piece of land. Once again, not even the holy task of building the Lord's temple appears restraining enough to tame their ungodly greed. What a big fat mess, from a personal pledge to a national catastrophe. God save our country. One abu samokujo tabra kwa kasasem we eye June anokai nti one abu okujo tabra kwa kire say aban ejapade a onkrofo ejapade obuguye no company bi efe no Waterstone obuomu dan edigui empatasika wasa aban twa ma omoni America sika no opepinsia ekire ponum 6.5 million Ghana cedis o converted the be sika ni mu a it's about 51.6 million Ghana cedis is bigger than Woyomi sika etwa man judgment debt ye campaign ya to ho nyum nyina no asosene no. Now, since last year, 2021 November, omatrokrata asra ban abesi na ban fa omo patesika emfa momo. Enti domo ye no so omo ba be court. Asase aban ye se yemfa momo ewo eye rage honom no. Irewrem no se sa asase no kra no. Aban mu mpanyimfo bi pese omo gye sa asase no tode omo nko personal ejapade. Ti amfa sa asase no amfa momo. Okasase me okasase me no. Ghana fo efa ne se onabo samokujo tabla kwa edi nani asi ananada Akufo-Addo hone namban and for that matter National Cathedral waka we yesi we di tronya no kra na waka ene yehwe less than 1 month na small kan yehwe no kra ewo mu. National Cathedral Project lawsuit looms over National Cathedral Project where you call a graphiconline.com. It is published at the ho abakin kan nyina no aminkin kan bi emfa enchrew. Officials of Waterstone Realty Limited, the company accusing the government of indifference and threatening a lawsuit to recover compensation over 8 official complexes which was forcibly demolished to make way for the construction of the National Cathedral, says the option to seek justice in court appears the only one left. Ejumako say, omo bon training so omo do mon nsem kwa koda court. Ni nyina ne say aban bebu o maja pade agu. Empatasika aban ka so de be ma omo no, omfa ma omo. Omo twa ho kwan atwa ye do be ye bia no. De aka ne so omo de be court. Do ma ye nyina nya adwuma, aka so omo de be court. Going to court is what we are currently deciding on. We have had a couple of meetings yesterday and today with our legal team to decide the appropriate time to go to the court. That is if we still do not hear from the government. It's our last option. Abdul Hafiz, in charge of works at the Waterstone Realty, told Graphic Online on Friday. Enti Abrantia ono ene hwe sa adwumakwe so oye in charge of omadwumedie Abdulaziz no mo twetwe nkomo o si last week omo no lawyer fo ahia so omo twen brepam no omo de omo nsama akoda court so man ti bibia amfa mfiri aban ho no ma omo twen no omo de omo nsama court we ekoso na anu fiada ade be chiame akwakoto MPP aba. According to the company, since being ejected from a 2-story multi-purpose building adjacent the physician and surgeon complex at Ridge, non-compensation has been offered, whilst a promise by government to relocate the company has not been honored. Omo say, Omo bro nse ane etwa so mienu, chese na etwa eye physician and surgeon, dan na wo Ridge honom no, ene Rollins efie ne ye edi animhwe no, ewo honom no. Omo ka say, ye komo masase, sa abo sha aban hye omo no, ebesi ne, omo nsa entumi enkan. The only real attempt at resolving the matter, according to the company, has been for the government to allocate a building as a replacement. But as it turned out, Waterstone Realty has not been able to take possession of it because it is housing a state institution, the National Investigation Bureau. Baby, a banker say, "Wa just o masas into the asasfo frokwa kwesi o manam o Ridge honom no." saa asase na yɛsɛ yɛde kwakɔ mu a mo so no ɛhɔ ɛna National Investigation Bureau kan ne ɛka ne BN9 no ɛsɛ ɛhɔ na mo so office hɔ enti how dare you sɛ woyɛ private company na wo zoom ɛyɛ NIB National Investigation Bureau for Japadi esi wo kwa kodwura guda kwa koso wo free so mo bete ase ama national security installation, and this is what is happening. According to the company, the government in late May 2018 wrote to request that it vacate the two-story multi-purpose building at Ridge within 1 month to make way for the National Cathedral Project, declining a plea for the extension of the ultimatum. Almost in May 2018, Anna Banchro Krata de Koma Jumaku say, or Momo Bosome, or Muntu or Mosom Neman Free Fio, you be Buddha the National Cathedral. Almost as 1 month in Kradink 8 year, or Mama break a crabancy debi, 1 month in woman named Chum, and Thomas Somoniama. It was subsequently raised around, or along with other housing and number of state institutions. Yewa Korea se ni duro mu dan gunya no kwa aban na nkasa ajapade bia na dan na sisi ya aban dia so yedwiri fa no adigui. Not only did the company lose 8 offices, it also lost business as a result. However, all entreaties to the government to honor its side of the bargain have fallen on deaf ears, leading to the current threat to go to court. Almost say nyese yebu omudani gu kekeu. Esa mo mu lose business because almost story building no na ya dia se bi omo de rent it, omo de ye adwuma ye business, omo lose business. Nanso ni nyina mu no aban bu nuagu nasum. The company said its recent petition to the Attorney General's office to intervene in the matter. However, that has also yielded no antidote. Almost so much krata da koma aban lawyer Penyini Godfrey Damini na so ye nanso ni nyina mu so omantimi antoa na mobia amfa ho se omo ha no obetimi asia no ade ama ho. At the time the government demanded vacation of the building, Waterstone Realty says it had rented the complex out to a tenant for $84,000 per year, for which reasons it had to refund $54,000 to the tenant. Omsi bra banya se wo tu omo aje ajapade no no mo de efie no ama obi ahan a afe no otua $84,000. Na so na nipa ne time nso yin abaka so omuntu ne wo se nipa no so ti dan mu no wo so omutimi etu no enam santina wo so omkope sika a so $54,000 na omo de tua nipa ne se wo da no ba bia akwa koduru no advance no wo se amount balance of $54,000. Per letter exchange between the government and Waterstone Realty Limited and other documents we have cited on May 30, 2018, the then Minister of Lands and Natural Resources, John Peter Amewu, wrote to the Chief Executive Officer, CEO of Waterstone Realty Limited, informing him about the decision of the government to take over the property for the construction of the National Cathedral. Krata graphic is so more ehu. As I krate wonabo samokujo tabla kwa last month or produce sa letter no e de kire yen. Wonabo Peter Amewu sabro na so afo no hwe efomagudie ohwe nsase ne fomagudie ensem so kire koma company na o kan am se omuntu ne hia asase no e de asi National Cathedral. Being an occupant of a portion of the said land which would be affected by the construction, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources wishes to engage with you towards the smooth relocation of your outfit property to pave way for the demolition and subsequent construction of the cathedral project. Tikrata urumunyamfo eye Peter Meuchokobo mo say eben se besi National Cathedral ba bia modan no majapade no osi asase no to si etumu ne pe bi di mamo ne etimi bugu ne etimi hyase esi edan no. Due to the urgency of the cathedral project, it is expected that the site will be vacated by 1st July 2018 to enable vacant possession to be given to the contractors, the letter indicated. And to Honorable Peter Amewu Kachom say, our say contractor movie site, a movie to site no koye juma by July. Enti our say omutu and manimi ya bosume gomutu netimi kosidano. On June 4, 2018, Waterstone Realty responded to the minister's letter and pleaded for an additional 1 month to enable a tenant who was using the building as a business premises relocate to another place, but it was rejected by the government. reality company a omo ejoma ja ban so otu omo no omo ka kira ban say ye de ejapade na han obi a ono so de business enti musuma ma yebosome ba kwa pese mo fa bosome ba ko nka ho se be beti benya ba bia ma ye tenant no e de na akotena no ato ne business so aban say da 1 month na no ano no 1 month otumetum ne so a ya mutu e da ne bedwuregu. After vacating the property, Waterstone Realty wrote to the Minister of Lands and Natural Resources on September 12, 2018 to inquire about when it will be compensated. Omukobu amajapade wi no mo chiro krata de koma Peter Mewu sabro so afọ hwe nsase na fumagudie nsam so eye September abosom na neto so dumienu ebusan say wo ka che se wubu ya japade no no ama asase foforo na akosi dan foforo enti da ben na de patasika na asase no ebemaye. The company in the letter pleaded with the government to compensate it urgently to prevent further loss of employees and impacting negatively on its business. Omo ka kira ban so omo sra ban se patasika no omo ne mrantem se da be omo adwuma fo adwuma omo na afeso emma eka emmemne omo. The then acting technical director of lands at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, James E.K. Dixon, responded to the letter on October 8, 2018 and assured Waterstone Realty that the government will soon address its concern. Letter number no opinion on a and director or when Sasso Fumagudi and so James E.K. Dixon, no catch so and Chakrano or Monsima Modabetu Jana de Sediano, Abambe, Why Mojuma at the Amaomo. Now allocation a year of the new property. Consequently, the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, Suleimana Mahama, on August 12, 2020, wrote to Waterstone Realty Limited, informing the company of an allocation of another property on a plot of land measuring 1.2 acres of land at Ridge Residential Area to replace the one that was compulsorily acquired by the government for the construction of the National Cathedral. And on the 12th August, and executive director, secretary, Emma Lands Commission, Etrokoma water, stone for so, ya mama says for friend so rich, 1.26 acres. And see a bind here, the mama samonfa, namonfa, enquire mojapadie. Otwaswa. Or say, Waterstone Realty in a letter of acceptance, dated August 2014, accepted the land and paid the required administrative fee of 1,500. And this our reality, we say bo meja pade na. Omo chira krata say dey come abaje tu so okay, baby ade asasena man ne je ho, ya je tum no. Eno so omutua 1,500 Ghana cedis. Inability to possess property. I say to possess property. I say, however, on March 3, 2021, lawyers of the Waterstone Realty Limited wrote to the Ministry of Works and Housing about its client's inability to take possession of the new property because it was already being occupied by another company. Omochro krata komo so afo hwe eye adansi no nyuma nsem so se asase no aban so de amaye nke nkonko yeso adwuma nanso ekoye no awo me yan kwasan se ehosu obi so ho ma obi yeso adwuma. The letter was copied to the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, and the National Cathedral Secretariat. Letter on the Koma, Minister for Lands and Works and Housing, omu copy Lands and Natural Resources Ministry, after Lands Commission, and now after National Cathedral Secretariat, no the letter to be so ekoma omo. The question is, does it honor God to expropriate our client's property for the National Cathedral Project without prompt payment of compensation? The letter this query. Omo letter omo ko no mu bisa say ebe so nyame ani si ebeji eja pade si ede be si nyankopo asorodan na ho patasika wo say de mayen yemfa mayana. Once again, the government failed to respond to the letter, and this prompted the lawyers of the Waterstone Realty to inform the Attorney General about its client's intention to sue the government to enforce its right. Omenyu omano enu na ma Waterstone fo trokoma Attorney General say baby akeka koduro ni enti samanfa ye japade amaye manfa compensation amaya and your patapa to the Mrabe court. The letter to the AG dated October 1, 2021 stated that the new building allocated Waterstone Realty as compensation was being occupied by the National Investigation Bureau, NIB. The lawyers of Waterstone Realty followed up with a petition to the AG on November 4, 2021 about the unfair treatment meted out to 8 clients and the potential for it to generate into judgment debt against the state. Omo chro krata de koma atene general asase de ma omo no omo koye no National Security for Bureau of National Investigation NIB. Oho no mote to mantimentu omo na omo kan omo say prakunam penyisi de ne show so wo yo ba so na penisi otwetwu kunu be ma sebi ku twetwu kura de bi na yekese a wa so ne da enti o kan omo say ahwe a the judgment debt ebeba. We are by this petition being a citizen and not a spectator to bring to your high office the canker of indifference leading to a potential judgment debt. The petition to the AG read. Let the number come out and you can say, ye truck at the abroad say, ye Ghana for name you never had for. Ye can't say the way no, a hot baby and I'm the hot through and judgment debt and a baba. Now, that letter match from 2018, basic 2021, a basic in a company no, compares as I say, I say the more and far more. Sika assume $6.5 million compensation. I was about to no, and so basically a buying into your and far more and into almost more court. And so when we are talking about how much Ghana you best spend about the building of National Cathedral, no, my consider construction and kwa. Yanka who say Bunkrofo Padia, just one property, a 2-story building, aye buyeno. Apart from say ye more mass 1.26 acres and crying young farmer. Ghana still have to pay $6.5 million near the momo, and to see a more mass near some music come and be say Japadiano $6.5 million. Your dollar is not done to Jimmy. A dear chan des be an costro. Dollar ne costro as a baby 10 years, maybe 2 SS canoa. I will say who says 10 years, no, baby a dollar now could do paper ready debate here. Now, if you best say another judgment that because company is running at a loss. And young fan to it, don't forget, say you break it down over 50 structures. Egui in this National Cathedral. 50 structures near Bubuguyeno, a be a banja padie. E be na ho na Greater Accra Regional Minister tie na e be a passport office ene miamia hodo be bring agui e be so ya ankrankra ja pade bi any Waterstone Realty Company ye bu omo dan gu ya e cost taxpayer $6.5 million o convert e de ko a year cedis musesi a is about 51.6 million Ghana cedis, bigger than sika etuama woyome idea politics our Ghana has say. But young fan on Toncha issue because you another issue. So, and I'm looking at the Bloomberg for I don't report to be Abba. Now, the Bloomberg for Eka, no more report no. Over show ha. Countries with the highest default risk in 2022. Omo say Amaya, Omo de Kapa, the mom so beti metu omo kano. Omo de report at the Abba. Now, over here, Amana na twatwa who are here. Yawa El Salvador, Yawa Ghana, Tunisia, Pakistan, Egypt, Kenya, Argentina, Ukraine, Bahrain, Namibia, Brazil, Angola, Senegal, Rwanda, South Africa, Costa Rica, Gabon, Morocco, Ecuador, Turkey, Dominican Republic, Ethiopia, Colombia, Nigeria, Mexico. Countries in a total say. Now, Ghana, tosu mienu. Until we are seeing up on my own de capa, or more can I who to the stand say, I hope to tia. Ghana, you toss mienu, but me na he. Enti we kabu can saying, Kafu, you are a country, we say, Sako board, no so no could be more hini. Iti Ghana, our beloved country, yan ya daha mienu, ya toss mienu, na she kai. What say, sovereign debt, vulnerability ranking, Ghana number 2, number 1, El Salvador, number 2, Ghana, yada number 2, yan ya daha. What say, government bond yield Ghana, the government bond yield in a bond equity and home care 17.1%. Over credit default swap spread, and also na high 1.200. Interest expense 2020 7.2. Now Bahasiya or see government debt 2022 as a GDP. GDP no, a gross domestic product just say ye ton Ghana ye japadi e wo nyina including nipa e wom. Ye ton ni nyina including me, you and I. Ye ton ni nyina ye de emu 84.6% ene betua eka. Enti ye ton japadi nyina le beka say ye mfaso de no. Eye little about 16%. And area enti eja pade nyina no enti mu a mugu and a debt to GDP ebisi 89 ebisi 71 and the GDP no according to Bloomberg saying 84.6%. Now let's move on here the chere ya kind of tintin see I will say Bloomberg study has ranked Ghana second among countries with the highest debt default risk in 2022. The country closely followed by El Salvador, number 1 in the sovereign debt vulnerability ranking. Ghana's debt to gross domestic product GDP, according to the Bloomberg, is estimated at 84.6% by the end of this year. This indicates that the nation's debt would have surpassed 400 billion by far before the end of 2022. As of the first quarter of 2021, Ghana's public debt had hit 391 billion Ghana cedis. That's $50.3 billion. The Bank of Ghana reported assets, or say as much as 40.1 billion Ghana cedis was added to the debt stock, largely as a result of exchange rate fluctuation. And here can you no? You see the na ni ahoden aye tu jimi a se bia da na tentehu ene nara ni se fa kra de atwe abo so no. Eno nko difference dey aba na 40.1 billion Ghana cedis. Together with Brazil, Ghana's interest expense to GDP is projected to hit 7.2% in 2022, the highest among the 25 countries captured by Bloomberg. This means the two countries will spend more money to service their debt in 2022. You see any Brazil? Yes, African Brazil. And any Brazil that's 7.2. The challenge said that you say I feel in escape benyano. I was saying this ka dodo no a ekotua ye ka ye die. So ene the state of this country ni say our debt to GDP ye ton manager pade nyina ye do hamabo pen de wotwe akiri ponsia 84.6 betua ye ka. They are can ne japade. It means yambobra. And we know ka say there's a loan agreement at that parliament, another $1 billion. And I know IMF for a catcher majority ni minority of parliament so no money to ye. How much are IMF the money nim? It means today, whether you like it or not, you can't many, but we still have to borrow to survive. Brian Boni. And a catcher said IMF will buy and also free SHS, a very innovative program. But they didn't tell us how IMF described the construction of National Cathedral at Ghana need $400 million and above. The compensation is a bit triano. And the encounter was some infantry. This is Amanyosem. We did this amount of and a Tuesday a keke, kabu and kafui.